Hi, my name is Wayne Toth. I'm the coordinator here at Niagara College of the Motive Power programs. Today's video, we're going to introduce you to proper usage of an above-ground hoist and proper installation of a vehicle on that hoist. A couple things that is very important, especially in the automotive trades today, is hoist certification. The U.S., it's mandatory that every technician working in vehicles, on vehicles, in shops, have some type of hoist certification. Not quite mandatory in Canada yet, but we're making sure that our program covers that information and our students, when they graduate, go out with hoist certification. Step one is really to have a good look at the hoist in general. So things that we would be looking for is also the hoist has to be certified on an annual basis, and there's always a stamp or a template that's put on the hoist to verify when the hoist was certified and what it's good to. In this case here, hoist certification is good till February 2016. So it's just been recently done. The next thing you would look at with the hoist is the weight capacity. This is a twin post above ground hoist, and you would actually look with a label on here that states the capacity that this hoist can lift. And in this case, it's a 10,000 pound capacity. The next step would be to verify the weight of the vehicle that you're putting on the hoist to make sure it falls under that 10,000 capacity. Other things that you would do is you would take a few minutes to really check over the hoist. Even though it has been certified, you still, on a daily basis, you want to verify that this hoist is still in good shape. So things you would be looking for is, this one is a hydraulic hoist, so you would look at the hydraulic units and make sure there's no leaks of any hydraulic fluid. There's a container here that has the bulk hydraulic fluid in it. There's also a hydraulic ram, pistons, hoses, fittings, so you'd have a quick look to make sure there's no signs of any leakage. If there is leakage, this hoist should be disabled and somebody should be contacted to bring them in and have the repairs done on it. Other things that you would be looking at is there's cables. There's steel cables that run from the hydraulic portion of the ram and the post to the other side. So those cables have to be in good shape, so they need to be checked. They need to be oiled frequently, so there's no binding that goes on there. And then the last thing you would be looking at is the arms themselves. And we'll take a closer look at that. With the arms, they need to be nice and free, moving, so there's no binding going on. Plus the pads on the end of the arms should be moving nice and freely also. Again, if there's any stiffness going on there, some lubrication needs to be added to it. Next step is verifying the weight of the vehicle. Most vehicles have a gross vehicle weight sticker on the door post of the vehicle. In this case here, this vehicle overall weight is 3,428 pounds. If the sticker is missing, then you can always refer to Mitchell On Demand or All Data to look up the gross vehicle weight for that vehicle. Next point is finding the right lifting points of the vehicle. In most cases, I refer to, let's try to find the frame of the vehicle. That's always your best lifting point. If you don't have a full frame vehicle, then the options would be the pinch weld, if it's a front wheel drive unibody type vehicle. If in doubt, always look up either in the owner's manual of the vehicle to find the lifting points, and also you have All Data or Mitchell On Demand, which will identify the proper lifting points of the vehicle. In this case, the back pads, I'm going to basically make contact with the pinch weld. The other important part is the condition of the vehicle. In a front wheel drive with a pinch weld, if there's a lot of rust that you find on the vehicle and you start lifting on that point and you got a lot of crunching noises going on, be very careful. Identify a better spot to lift the vehicle. The other thing is cars will be coming in with ground effects on the vehicle, or the cars may be lowered. So you really treat that with caution to make sure that the arms are not making contact with any of the ground effects or the underbody of the vehicle. And in that case, we have different size spacers that we can put in to raise the pads higher so that you have clearance between the arm and the vehicle. The other thing, once you start altering the size of the spacers, is to make sure that the vehicle is going up level. I always like to bring the car off just off the ground a couple inches and recheck the positioning, recheck the gap between the arms and the body, and also make sure the vehicle's going up level. So in this case, the back arms are going to be making contact with the pinch weld. Then I'll move to the front arm. And in this case, with a front wheel drive vehicle, there's a frame assembly that's attached to the front engine cradle, and I'm going to position the front pad directly on that frame member. Next step is positioning the vehicle in the proper spot to be able to lift it safely, and we look for the center of gravity of the vehicle. How we figure out the center of gravity is we determine where the weight is dispersed on the vehicle. In this case, this is a front wheel drive vehicle, so the center of gravity is roughly right in this spot right here. A rear wheel drive vehicle, a lot of the weight would be in the back of the vehicle. That vehicle would need to be moved forward. So in this case, center of gravity, this vehicle is located properly in between the two posts. The other part is the vehicle centered side to side in the proper spot too. You want it equal, so when you do lift the vehicle, that weight of that vehicle is dispersed properly. Okay, next step is raising the vehicle. Your green button is lifting the vehicle. This arm here is your lowering of the vehicle. Next step, we'll bring it slightly off the ground, recheck positioning of the vehicle. I like to bring the vehicle just a few inches off the ground and then give the vehicle a good shake. And sometimes the vehicle may settle a bit on the pad, so you might hear a little shifting, but it's a perfect time really to give it a good shake. If the vehicle is going to come off the hoist, you're still low to the ground. Next step is to verify the location of your pads in case they've moved. So the pads are still in their proper location. Go around to the other side, double check it, and then continue to raise the vehicle. The clicking noise you're hearing is the locks. So in this case, we're going to take it right up to where we can work underneath the car clearly. And again, make sure no one's around the vehicle as you're raising it. Don't allow anybody to go under the vehicle until the vehicle's lowered on its locks. Now we'll lower it down until the car settles on the locks. These hoists are also equipped with a safety lever at the top in case the vehicle goes to the maximum height, and it does happen to be in a case of a van that you're raising on the hoist, it will make contact with that and shut the hoist off, so there's no damage done to the vehicle. So once the repairs have been done to the vehicle, next step is to lower the vehicle and make sure that there's nothing underneath the vehicle, clean up any oil spills, remove any tools and any equipment, and then go ahead and lower the vehicle. Next step is to slightly raise off the locks. So you're going to go up a bit with the hoist and then release the locks. And in this type of hoist configuration, there's a lock on each side. So pull it down on this side, pull the lock down on the other side. Now we start the downward descent. And the key thing too is to make sure that the arms are completely lowered to the full extent. There's locking mechanisms on the arms. Once the arms come off the ground, they stabilize so they won't shift. So in order to pull the arms out from under the vehicle, the car and hoist must be all the way to the lower position. All the way down, now the arms can be swung out. And then do this on both sides of the vehicle. Once arms are completely out of the way, now you can back the vehicle out of the shop area. Not a bad idea to have a spotter watching you back up so that there's no chance of hitting anything.